The LIV Golf Miami Team Challenge and Money Bonanza starts this Friday. Let's go through the brackets and really run through the scenarios of how it will probably play out. We see there's clearly a division in the talent and skill level between the top four teams and the bottom four teams. Will one of the middle teams, teams 5 through 8, step it up and beat one of the top four teams? Tune in to find out. Here's a list of the teams. The four aces with 4 wins are clearly number 1. And at the end of the spectrum, you got the Niblets, number 12, with Bubba Watson as their non-playing captain. Let's go through the rules to see how this whole team format will likely play out. On Friday, the teams ranked 5th through 12th in LIV season standings will compete against each other in match play. The 4 higher ranked teams will pick their opponents. I predict that Smash will choose number 12, the Niblets. The Niblets are the weakest team out there, I believe. Brooks Koepka, as the playing captain, would face probably Harold Varner III, as Bubba Watson is not playing, and I'm assuming that Harold Varner would be considered the playing captain then. Chris hits me up on Twitter at Big Boy Pants Golf. It's also at Big Boy Pants Golf on Instagram, and sends me this spreadsheet, which is his breakdown as to how he thinks he'll play out. He and I agree on 2 picks, and then we disagree on 2 others, and I'll give you my reasons. Chris and I both agree, as I said before, that Brooks Koepka will be facing HV3 in the first match, as team number 5 is clearly the strongest and team number 12 is clearly the weakest. We also agree that Phil Mickelson will end up having to face team number 11, as team number 11 is sneaky strong. I don't even know how they're team number 11. Where we disagree is that I think Poulter's team will end up choosing the other European team with Graham McDowell and Martin Keimer. Why? Because they're all Europeans, and the competitor you know is better than the competitor you don't know, which is the Asian team. With the Asian team, you could end up with the K-pop version of Asians and they're horrible that day. Or you might get the girl from the ring who crawls through the TV. You don't know what you're getting. It's unknown. Don't go with the Asians. Ian Poulter, go against the Europeans. Graham McDowell, I don't know if he's good at golf anymore. So I therefore see Joaquin Niemann's Torque team facing Kevin Na's the Ironheads. You definitely have the captains playing against each other for 1 point, and then one other member from each team will play for another point. Who will play the other singles match? And I think it's typically the strongest player, and you just leave the other 2 guys to see what they can do in the foursome format. For Smash, I think the other strong player is Peter Uihlein. Chris agrees. For the Majestics, it's got to be Lee Westwood, but it could also be Henrik Stenson. I'm gonna go Lee Westwood. Chris agrees. For Joaquin Niemann's team, you have to go Adrian the O-Man. Why? Because he just won on the DP World Tour. Guy is on fire. He's just probably solidified a place for himself on the LIV Golf Tour. For the High Flyers, Matthew Wolff. Chris agrees. Where we disagree is the Ironheads. I'm thinking the second strongest player is Sadom Kaukanjana, whereas Chris thinks that Siwon Kim will be the man they go to. Do you think Sadom or Siwon will be playing the other singles match? Let me know in the comment section below. On the cliques, I'm going to go with Richard Bland, even though he's 49. They have no one else there. For number 11, for the Punch team, I'm going to go with Mark Leishman. It's interesting for the Niblets. Chris chose James Piot. I think he did well last week, but I'm going to go with Hudson Swafford for really no good reason. But I think James Piot needs to be playing as a team. Bubba Watson, if you're watching Big Boy Pants Golf for some strategy, I suggest not putting James Piot out as a single. Why? Well, yes, he did well last week, or the final event of the LIV Golf Tour. But when they did the LIV promo video with him, and he's introducing himself, he goes to the food area and he orders fish and vegetables. You can't put a guy like that out alone. He'll get eaten alive. If this kid had gone out there and said, hey, give me medium rare steak, and he just started eating with his hands, then he's ruthless. If you order fish, especially like a whitefish, I mean, does the fact that you ordered whitefish mean that you have low testosterone? Or do you have low testosterone because you order whitefish? Very much of a chicken or egg situation. So you have 2 single matches, each worth 1 point, and then you also have a foursome match with the other 2 golfers remaining out of the 4, and a foursome is not to be confused with a 4-ball match. What's the difference, you ask? A foursome is like a threesome in that only 2 balls should be in play. Though I know many of you in the comment section will then say, what about a John Kruk or Lance Armstrong situation? Again, then you'd have 3 balls in play and you still only want 2 balls. Another way to think of foursome is that it's alternate shot format. And in this way, it's also like a threesome in that people should be alternating. 4-ball, on the other hand, you got 4 balls in play and you're taking the best score from each team. I hope this clears this up because I also get very confused about this. Don't call it a foursome, just call it alternate shot. In other news related to LIV Golf, I couldn't believe when I saw that Anthony Kim had LIV Golf conversations with the PGA Tour. He's only 37 years old now, hasn't played in 10 years, but as per Creaser Golf, a channel I recommend you check out, he's still pretty much well within the normal age range for LIV Golf or the PGA Tour. Who else would love to see Anthony Kim return to golf on the LIV Golf Tour? I don't know what that insurance policy, if he had to wait 10 years or forever, but if it's only 10 years, Anthony Kim, it's time to return, negotiate with LIV Golf, get back in the game, bro. You miss it. That was day 1 predictions, and I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I do think when the smoke clears, the champion team will be the Fireballs. Keep this in mind, that even if you're on the last place team, you're still getting a cool 250 grand. Congratulations to Adrian Oman from Spain on getting back on the LIV Golf Tour. I think you should be there the entire season next year. And don't forget, Henny Duplessis, also back. Everyone was like, oh, what's happening to these LIV golfers when they go on other tours? Well, Adrian Oman obviously won last week. Henny Duplessis, youngster, got all the game in the world. Let's hope that both of these guys are permanent fixtures on the tour next year. While Big Boy Pants Golf doesn't have a sponsor, that doesn't prevent me from sponsoring great ideas. Here's something I came up with so that you don't waste an old golf strap. Remember back in the medieval times when a golf bag would just have one strap and the other part of it was attached to your L5 lumbar, trying to really ruin your spine? And now we, of course, have the double straps so that you can evenly distribute the weight. Don't throw those single straps out, especially if you have 2 pit bulls. Enjoy, my friends.